Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. And today I'm asking the question, can we use technology to identify mass shooters before they strike? Now, I thought this was absolutely fascinating. And it comes from the Washington Post, although I'm looking at it in the Daily Caller, and I think it's absolutely fascinating here, and I've got a lot of notes. But the Trump administration is considering a proposal that would use Google, Amazon, and Apple to collect data on users who exhibit characteristics of mental illness that could lead to violent behavior. Now, here's what's going on. This idea was first floated around in 2017, but now has renewed interest since basically in August, we had 31 people shot in the United States here in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. And so this proposal will be part of a new initiative to create a Health Advanced Research Projects Agency, or HARPA. Very similar to the defense version of that, DARPA, but it would be located inside the Health and Human Services Department. And basically, this new agency would have a separate budget, and the president would be responsible for appointing its director. Now, HARPA would develop, and I quote, breakthrough technologies with high specificity and sensitivity for early diagnosis of neuropsychiatric violence. A multimodality solution, along with real-time data analytics, is needed to achieve such an accurate diagnosis. Now, this document goes in to basically list all of the ways or some of the major technologies that they could use amongst the general population to start identifying these people. And they are including Apple Watches, Amazon Echo, Google Home. I think Apple's got their own home one. I can't remember the name of that thing ever. Now, Jeffrey Ling, the lead scientist advisor on this HARPA initiative, told reporters on Thursday that the plan would require enormous amounts of data and scientific rigor. He added, and I quote, everybody would be a volunteer. We're not inventing new science here. We're analyzing it so we can develop new approaches. Now, the White House basically declined to really speak out on this, and the companies like Amazon, Google, etc., also did not respond. But it's basically unclear, where this is going to go. But this is being floated, and I find this absolutely interesting. We already know, and I've done videos on a lot of the different technologies that we are using that we can be monitored. We all know that, pretty much all of them are listening in. Now that we have a lot of new watches coming out with more advanced technology on the smartwatch side. So Apple and Asus and Samsung all have watches with ECGs coming out, electrocardiograms and all of that. Plus, there's a slew of other watches that are now able to do this. This is something that I think they could possibly have in real time. Imagine if, for whatever reason, Amazon was listening in and, let's say, was listening to your conversations through your Echo, and you are, let's say, a potential mass shooter given, let's say, mental illness that you have or something else. Amazon might have to listen to every Echo to basically identify you out of the potentially millions of non-potential mass shooters out there, and then alert a government agency to that, and then they basically go to Apple to start getting telemetry off your watch, and Google to start getting telemetry off your Gmail account, or whatever that is. So this is, I think, a very fascinating idea, and I don't think anybody wants to see mass shooters out there. Obviously, nobody wants to get shot. Nobody wants to see, the horrific nature of mass shootings that, we have with some frequency in the United States. But at the same token, we also have this whole privacy issue, and how does this work? Would you want, any presidential administration, a Trump administration or Obama administration or whatever, I don't care what side of the fence you're on, would you want them to have this kind of power over you and be able to simply flip on your devices and, review transcripts of things that you've said to yourself or to others in the presence of one of these devices, or, get, let's say, your heartbeat or your ECG just on the fly because your watch is syncing to your phone, which is syncing to the cloud, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's something that we have to, take a look at. But if I'm looking at overall trending in the technology we're using, as it's making it easier and it's more cloud connected, it's also making it easier for these organizations and possibly governments to listen in, to record, to see, to watch, to do all of these things, and I think once again we have to find that balance between, expectation of technological use and privacy, whether it's privacy to ourselves against these corporations or governments or whatever that is. So that is your news of the day, and I just found it absolutely fascinating and interesting, and I think a little bit scary. Although, if we are looking at identifying mass shooters, it could be very promising. So that is your news of the day, and I'm curious to know what you guys think. And as always, please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter, and you can always subscribe to me on YouTube. Please do. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.